Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today is a bit unique. We're actually going to do sort of a 3-for-1 review. A long time ago, I took a look at G1 Kickback, my original that I had as a lad that's seen better days, to be perfectly honest. However, on loan to us by friend of the channel, Maximal 10, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Universe 3-pack of the G1 Insecticons. But that's not all, because we're in a position now where we recently looked at this guy, Legacy Bombshell, and we've already looked at these guys. Plus I have the Titans Return ones from back in the day, those Legends class ones. We're going to look at, officially, a review of the G1 Insecticons, but in essence, we're going to compare a bit of a swarm of Insecticons to see which ones kind of fit the bill the best. Stick around, all of that coming up in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please, as it helps me out a ton and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is down in the description down below. Also in the description, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, you can hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And like I said, we're going to be looking primarily at the Transformers Universe G1 Insecticon 3-pack, but in a roundabout way, we're going to kind of look at a swarm because, for example, when we look at G1 Bombshell, we have now the Legacy Evolution Bombshell, as well as a customized version of the Power of the Primes, Titans Return, era Prime Wars version, as Salvo, and a custom Prime Wars version that has articulated hands and stuff, which we've sort of looked at before. But we're going to compare them to see which one I feel really works the best for the character. The nice thing about the Insecticons is that bugs come in all shapes, sizes, and even the ones that look alike only kind of look alike. So maybe having these different size classes and different eras, maybe it's a nice way to build a little bit of an Insecticon army, so to speak. Anyway, let me stop babbling. Without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at the swarm. So I wanted a way to jazz up a simple look at the G1 Insecticons. Well, actually it is the Transformers Universe or whatever 3-pack of the G1 Insecticons. So I figured what better way to accomplish that than to look at my swarm. Now the G1s aren't mine, they're on loan to the channel from Maximal 10, but everything else here is mine, and I'll put a few cards in as we go and whatnot. And we're not going to look at all of these, but this is the swarm of insects. We have 3 versions of Venom up here. It is the little tiny Target Master reuse of Waspinator that came with the Generations Legends class Seeker mold. I think the Waspinator came with the Legends Starscream way back when, some 10 years ago now. And this coloration came with the Legends class Acid Storm. And I ended up with 3 of them. One I painted blue and one I painted orange. And I don't really know what they're called. I haven't named them yet, but they're 3 little Seekers. They each came with a version of Venom, so I kind of have like a little swarm of Venom wasps, so to speak. These are terrible. We really need Venom replaced. I'm just going to take those out of it. And then we have Chop Chop up here. Chop Chop is a reuse of the Titans Return, Generations, Shrapnel mold. This is the Generations one. There was a reuse of it with a darker yellow later on, but I didn't get that one because I already had this one. The Chop Chop also has a bunch of Toy Hacks decals on it, so you know, he's cool, and it's the one guy. I didn't put those decals on, by the way, somebody else did. Shout out to Costa, whom I got that from. And he must have done a better job than me. Whenever I try to put them on, they always tend to fall off. So they have it on him, so go figure. Also, way down here on the end, we have the Transformers Prime Insecticon, Hard Shell, who I colored in purple, yellow, and black. to, I don't know, to match the Insecticons more. That was many years ago as well, lay him aside. Beyond that, we also have the 4-pack reuse. I think this is Ransack. If I'm wrong, somebody can tell me. This is the reuse of the Legacy Kickback mold. I think it's a successful reuse. I like it, honestly. It'd be nice to get a Venom done that way, and the others, really. That leaves us with, hold on, let me make sure of what I'm doing here. Yeah, that leaves us with the ones I really want to focus on the most. Oh, by the way, I'll mention this now. This is a custom. This is Salvo. I'm going to keep both of them there, and I'm going to take this guy out front. So what we have is the Legacy ones along the back, the G ones in the middle, and out front right now we have the Legends class ones that came during the Prime Wars trilogy. The way I'm going to do this is we're going to deal with one at a time and kind of cycle through real quick, and I'll give a final score to the G1 Insecticon team at the very end. So, there's the swarm as bugs. Let's look at each one, and we might as well begin with Shrapnel. And so we start here with Shrapnel in his, I think it's some sort of a beetle or something, I don't know what it is, in his bug mode. Obviously, the Generations one is the most stylized, undoubtedly, with the yellow back here and whatnot. However, it does have complete purple arms, just like this guy has complete purple arms. This guy has black in the middle of the arm. Naturally, though, even despite that, in insect mode, the Legacy one is definitely closer to accuracy than the Titan's Return one, which is, admittedly, a little bit stylized. He also comes with a nice chromy blaster, and, not for nothing, but the Legacy blaster matches it quite nicely. Well, obviously the Legacy is bigger and silver, and the original is chrome, but man, oh man, looking good. And here's our boy in his buggy goodness. He has a rub symbol. I assume that if I leave my finger on it, and it's quite warm here today, yeah, it shows he's an Insecticon. Well, actually, he's a Decepticon. Who knew? For look, well, we'll look at the scores when we put him in robot mode. To do the transformation, we basically come here and extend the two legs. They slide out on this guy. We bring up his feet, we bring up his arms, we rotate the waist around, and we open out his two little pincher pieces, and we can stand him up. We can also take his blaster, and it kind of fits down sort of kind of over his hand wrist area here, I do believe, like that. I mean, look at the guy. 10. Transformation 10. I mean, it's simple, sure, but like it's hard to argue with G1. I can't score them like I score the normal stuff. The articulation, guy has waist, his arms, I guess they, if you get that out of the way, well, no, they're not going to be able to go all the way around. But you got some decent movement there in those. No knee, pretty sure no knee. Yeah, no knee, but the leg can kick forward and back. Nothing out to the side. I mean, quite limited. I mean, 3 or 4 for articulation, but man, the chrome is really held up well. Here he is next to the other versions of himself. I mean, I would say that the G1 wins for look, if for no other reason because it's G1, but it has the most silvery, bright chrome. Like, it's just gorgeous. In terms of most involved and interesting transformation, that gotta go to the Legends class. In terms of best updated homage with improved articulation, well, naturally that's gonna go to the Legacy in this case. I'll say this, in terms of scale, the Insecticons should come up to about the waist of Soundwave, the Seekers, the Constructicons, right? So basically these guys should come up to about the waist of a Voyager. So I feel like the Legends is about the right size, and the Deluxe is a bit big, but I mean, there's no doubting that the Deluxe is one heck of a homage to that G1 boy. Part 2 here is going to be Kickback, and again, like, I think the 3 of them are fine, obviously. The G1 is glorious. When I looked at my other G1 a long time ago, it did not have the beautiful chrome left on his wings. I never liked the yellowy wings on the Titan's Return one, which is why I painted them silver. I think that they may have been silver in the Takara release. But I'm okay with the kind of clear ones that are on the Legacy because of the way that they're textured. It was a very different way of doing it, but I'm okay with it. They look, I mean, quite nice together, to be honest with you. I wish that they all had wheels like this lad, but I mean, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to get angry about that. But undoubtedly, yeah, you can see the homages, no problem. Again, much like with the last guy, this blaster is the chromy, beautiful, full version of the updated one on the bottom that has a little bit of purple and some hollowness to it. It does have the little circular piece down under. It's purple now instead of being chrome, but there you go with that comparison there. Now, because I kind of already done this review of this guy, I'm going to really not belabor the transformation here. There's no need. I've shown it before. I'm going to put those up and this and this. Oh, turn that head around thusly and down and boom. There we go. We have our boy in his robot mode. Again, you can take his blaster and it goes down over his, like, very strange hands, but he can hold it there like that just fine. And of course, here he is next to. And here we have all 3 together, the Legacy again, the Titan's Return one, and the G1 in there. Again, the look of the G1 has to be a 10. The transformation, I'm going to call it a 10. The articulation we'll get into in a minute. In terms of most interesting, involved transformation, it still goes to the Legends Class one. His transformation is a bit bonkers, what with the shoulder assembly falling down and whatnot. The best homage and better articulation is, of course, the Legacy one, and you can see that comparison there. I always preferred having the silver on the top of the head, even though I think the animation has the black. And I always like red visor for the eyes. So you can see the homage here, of course. A lot of people did a mod with this where they wanted the chest to open, like the G1. I don't know why you would care about the chest opening. By the way, while I didn't show it with Shrapnel, his chest does open. I'll show it after when we see all 3 together. But yeah, so there you go with that. In terms of the articulation, this guy's a bit of a weirdo, but he's actually one of the better articulated G1 guys, I always thought. Leg goes forward only a little bit, and back only a little bit, not out to the side, no knee. That's a shame. However, the arms, they can go all the way around, and because of the way these 2 pieces go together, he sort of has like an elbow, which I always liked, and the head goes left and right, that's it. I always wanted his arms to be able to go out, I always wanted him to have a knee, and I always wanted the legs to be able to go forward and back, even better. But again, as G1, we're going to see the articulation is like a 5 or something. I mean, it is what it is, right? And then that takes us to number 3. And lastly, we have Bombshell. And you'll notice I actually have 4 here. This is Salvo. And if you don't know who Salvo is, well, you know what? Like I said, I'll probably have a card or something up there, or you can go and look Salvo up if you like. There's different colorations for the other Insecticons too, but I didn't have a spare copy of the other ones, so I didn't do those. But I figured, hey, why not do a Salvo, right? I'll probably tie him in with Chop Shop and Ransack. I think it's Ransack. I keep saying I think it is. I haven't looked it up. I don't care. Whatever. But I wanted to show him here just for the sake of it, and we may see him again in the like robot mode, just so you can see like the stock one next to like the kind of customized version that I also have there. So there you go. Now we have all 3 here again. We very recently looked at this guy and saw the Legacy Insecticons with him. Naturally, this, right down to the shade of yellow, is a bit of a better homage than this. Although you'll notice that the eye, so to speak, has a pupil going down instead of out here. And this one also has one going down. So like, there's some weird homages going on here indeed. As with the other lads that we've looked at, Oh, we have another homage to the original, nice solid chrome blaster. I think this one's the biggest departure. It's tiny and fairly hollow. I don't know. I didn't mind it when I done the review of Bombshell, but now that I see it next to the original, it's a little bit of a pew pew sort of weak looking blaster, if you ask me. Alright, let's do the transformation for this guy, and then we'll give him some scores. Again, he rolls nicely. I wish the new ones had wheels, because, I don't know, why not? It'd be a good way for them to maneuver. So we come here and we flip down those legs and straighten them out. We flip out these arms on the side, and of course we bring all of this back. I guess you could leave it up like this if you're so inclined. And is that it? I think that's it. I do believe that's it for our boy, a Bombshell. And here he is, of course, next to all the other versions of Bombshell. By the way, you may have noticed that I neglected to put his blaster in his hand. His blaster doesn't fit on over the hand. This is the only Insecticon that actually has a port. I'm going to say 3mm, and the peg actually goes into his hand. Go figure. In terms of looks, again, we gotta say 10. I mean, you know, even if it's not animation accurate, there's an argument that this is as accurate or more accurate than the cartoon, right? So I'm not going to get into the debate of it. Let's just call it a 10. And the transformation, again, I'm going to call it a 10. It was the first time that we had Insecticons. It is what it is. It's simple. It's logical. Like with the other two, the original has the most beautiful silvery chromy goodness. The Titans Return one, I mean, that one you have to lock the arms together. There's a lot of legs that swerve in and out. You turn the waist around, you fold up the legs. There's a fair amount to it. You can see it next to the custom one and the Salvo version. And again, I think the Legends ones are about the right size, or closer to the right size. They certainly match the G1. Then we get to the Legacy. I think the Legacy is the best update that we've obviously had since the G1, no doubt about it. But even the G1 had to have a purple chest, right? So I looked at the Legacy pretty recently. You know, same sort of analysis that we've given all along for this guy as well, right? With the Legacy having the best articulation, nicest update. The most involved transformation being the Prime Wars one, and of course the G1 is just lovable G1. Speaking of G1, there they all are, with all of their chromy goodness, their blasters in hand, and their chests open. All of them, a 10 for look. All of them, a 10 for transformation. I mean, I could be harsh on it, but it's G1, it's where everything started, I gotta respect it. In terms of articulation, I mean, they're all fairly limited. I feel like Kickback's probably the best for articulation. By the way, I didn't do the articulation of Bombshell yet. I'll actually do that now in just a second. But again, his articulation will be about a 5, right? As it is, let's be realistic, all of these guys really pan out to be about the same. Just out of interest sake, taking him out of it and taking him out of it. I mean, the articulation's been about a 5 for these guys, right? We're going to close that up. The head, I don't even know if the head can move on this guy. I'm not forcing it because it's not mine. The arms here, I mean, they can go kind of forward, and actually they can go all the way around. Who knew? I mean, we have backwards knees, if that's any good to you. And I guess we have a little bit of a knee there. It's just, it depends on how you extend it. And I don't think we have hips. Like, he's probably one of the more limited ones. I don't know, I feel like Kickback is my boy. Overall score, 10, 10, 5. I don't know, we'll say the G1 Insecticons fall somewhere around a 7. And why not this little setup, just so you can see the Legacy ones behind the G1s. Man, that's nice. What nice updates to take us out of here. And here we are once again, and you know what? Wouldn't you know it? Each one kind of brings something unique and different to the table. The G1, obviously, the standard bearer in terms of look, it's what everything else builds off of. And to be fair, the G1 has, how can I explain this? I guess like the best chrome detailing of all of them. Then we have the Titans Return, Combiner Wars, Power of the Primes versions, which are fine. I think the strongest one there is probably the Bombshell, honestly. I feel like it's solid. I feel like it's functional. The Shrapnel or Scrapnel, what if you prefer that renaming, that's fine too, though one of my pieces on the side is a little bit loose, but I like the look of it. He needed a bit of color work, and the Kickback I like. Definitely the most involved and kind of complicated of the transformations. Not bad, but it's definitely the most involved of the transformations. And he's the most lanky of the lads and needed the most custom work as well. But what they do bring is a nice, simple, inexpensive way to kind of add clones if you're so inclined. Sort of like having some of the 86 Insecticons, but if you want like kind of a cheaper route, you can get some of the original Titans Return or KO Insecticons. And then we get to the legacy ones. The legacy ones obviously nail a certain look and aesthetic very nicely. Arguably, they might be a little bit too big. Some people would say they're just right, but if you look at the old Sunbow chart, they seem to be just a bit too big. Nevertheless, their articulation is splendid, and their transformations, though simplistic, are somewhat logical and really do harken back to the G1. Maybe there's no losers. Maybe it's just that some excellent Insecticons of different sizes and different types for all. Plus you could throw in a Chop Shop here, a Ransack there. I think that's his name, Ransack. That's what I'm going with. And even a couple of little Venoms, if you're so inclined. We really need a better Venom. We need better deluxe Insecticons if you know, if I have any bearing, if my opinion carries any weight, we need some better deluxe Insecticons. Maybe the one that we got from Kickback is okay, but do the other ones. Do the other ones. Just saying. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, please hit the subscribe button. Stick around, man. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference in the world. You really do. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.